Another eco-hero we want to introduce to you is Regina Leke. She lives in Douala, a port city in Cameroon. She is an environmental journalist and she is involved with a non-governmental organization called Sustainable Run for Development. It promotes inclusive and sustainable development initiatives, and that means getting ordinary people involved. Regina has inspired many to think more about the environment and to take better care of it. So what did we do? We went to find out how she does it.
These women are out to make a difference. Environmentalist Regina Leke and her team of volunteers are collecting plastic bottles from this home in Douala. Regina is the founder of Recycle Me, an organization dedicated to cleaning up the city.
I felt in my own little way I could, do some form of volunteerism, starting from my home, collect these plastics and also get it from somewhere else and hand to the recycling company.
The city's too dirty. There's trash everywhere. It's a good thing she's doing something about it, and on her own initiative.
Douala is Cameroon's most populated city. The area's more than 3 million inhabitants produce a huge amount of household waste every day. A private company contracted to collect the city's garbage actually only removes about 2/3 of it. The rest remains scattered throughout the city. Regina Leke also uses the media to combat the waste problem. On Cameroon's second largest TV network, she hosts a weekly program on environmental issues. The 29-year-old uses this platform to report on the poor waste management situation in the West African country. Sometimes this yields results.
When our reports eventually go on air, you realize that authorities are now, I would say they are moved to take an action, and you see the next minute they start coming to carry this garbage and dispose of them properly.
But plastic continues to clog up the city's gutters. This is a serious problem, especially when the rainy season starts in March. Blocked waterways can cause property damage and even deaths.
The soil is just about 1 to 2 meters above sea level, which means that when there is so much rain and these waterways are blocked, it can lead to flooding. And some of these plastics also, when they get into the ocean, it becomes a threat to marine life.
So while others look the other way, Regina continues to focus on dealing with the problem. She even invests her own money, for instance, renting vehicles like this to deliver the plastic directly to a recycler. But the site is already overflowing. That means Regina's organization doesn't earn anything for the effort. She's just happy to get the clutter off the streets and put to better use. Here, the old plastic is cleaned and shredded. The raw material is then repurposed, for instance, into useful buckets. Now Regina is looking to expand her operation.
I really intend to extend to many towns in Cameroon to collect as many plastic bottles and other plastic items for recycling, reuse. I mean, whatever is not going to pose a serious threat to the environment.
She started small, collecting plastic from friends and colleagues. Now she has 8 volunteers who cover some 300 households and offices in Douala.
Farmers on Zanzibar, Tanzania's famous spice island, have been producing aromatic gloves without pesticides or chemical fertilizers for generations, long before Europe and North America fell in love with organic produce. Some saw a great opportunity in that love and got certified as organic growers. Let's see what kind of impact that is having on the industry.
Nutmeg.
In Zanzibar, you'll find almost all the spices in the world. But the times when one will get rich from entirely spices are long gone.
Before, all the farmers in the area depended on tourists. If no one visited the farm, it was difficult to survive. A lot of them had to give up, and looked for other work.
Spice farmer Patrick Maganga, together with his neighbor, managed to conquer a new market. Amongst the spice farmers of Zanzibar, he is considered an expert, and all the others come to him to buy new seedlings.
I think it's because I exclusively use cow dung and select the plants very carefully.
With 30 other spice farmers, Maganga founded a cooperative. Since then, the farmers share everything: tools, strength, and above all, knowledge. Together they found a way to expand. Cloves are now grown on a large scale. Maganga's neighbor, Ali Foum, explains how this helped them succeed.
We decided to be certified organic. And when we sell to our customer as organic, the price is increased. Yeah, from 15 to 20,000 shillings.
The cooperative is a young company based in Stone Town. It looks for organic products from the island with bio-labels Zanj Spice. All spices are handpicked and then shipped to Europe. Farouk Musa is pleased with the close cooperation with the farmers.
Nowadays they have a market, they know where they can sell their stuff, so even the production is a little bit higher. And last year it was about 500 seedling of the clove they've already planted, so probably after 2 years they'll start to harvest more 500 new plants.
Patrick Maganga has been able to build a new house with the additional income. His wife is equally pleased with him.
I'm very proud of him. Life is much easier than before, and the family gets everything it needs. More and more people who have seen how successful we are with the organization now come here. It's the only way to make good money around here.
His oldest son now has his own small family. From the profits from the next harvest, Maganga wants to build them a house.
There are two countries on Africa's Atlantic coast that have never really been on nature lovers' radar: Benin and Togo. And for a long time, both countries have failed to convince their people on the need to preserve the land's biodiversity.
Right, especially in the region around the river Mono. This river forms the border between the two small nations, and its delta is a rich tapestry of mangroves, forest, wetlands and savanna. It's also a refuge for rare species such as the manatee and red-bellied monkeys. Let's take a look at what Benin and Togo are doing to protect this natural paradise.
Sylvian Davo works for an environmental organization. He'd like to see fishing in this part of the river delta banned so the fish have a chance to spawn.
We're proposing a ban on fishing for 1 kilometre around the river delta so the fish will be able to pass back and forth between the Mono River and the sea. We're seeking a consensus amongst the fishermen.
The beach and the dunes beyond it are a natural paradise and home to sea turtles. They've been successfully protected in both Benin and Togo for years. This is where the Biosphere Reserve is due to begin in the future. We want to see how the Mono Delta Biosphere Reserve is progressing. Benin and Togo are two narrow countries. Together they're over 100 kilometers wide. They are separated by the Mono River. The Biosphere Reserve consists of separate settlements. The coastal protection area begins right behind the beach. It's a unique biotope. Here, where the Mono River meets the sea, the mangroves begin. At the mouth of the river, Davo shows us the inland waterways behind it. His organization is helping to protect the mangrove forests. They've planted 45 new hectares and marked off spawning grounds for the fish with local residents. We continue inland to Lake Toho. Here, Patrice Bada is supporting the future reserve. His environmental organization is planning a nature reserve for flora and fauna on the riverbanks. He's already won the fishermen and hunters over, so they'll respect the areas where fishing and hunting are prohibited. It's a natural paradise with protected marsh areas and rare species of plants and wildlife. But how important is it to the hunters here to preserve their environment?
We used to sell the game or eat it ourselves, but we've stopped doing that. We want our children to see the wild animals in the future with their own eyes.
Local residents are burning down trees to clear land for farming. We fly to our last stop, the forest of Gojime in Togo. To the people in this area, the forest is sacrosanct. They head out into the woods, following their priests in the procession. They believe the gods of the forest can heal them from sickness and protect them from evil. The priests have always kept a close watch on the forest. But now they have the support of a local environmental group. They hope to reforest some areas and set up a patrol.
The greatest threats to the forest are clearing and farming.
They're working together to fight poaching, forest burning, and timber thieves.
And so again, a whole bunch of good ideas on protecting and preserving the world we live in. That's it for today's program. Thank you for watching The Environment Show, brought to you by Channels Television, DW and KTN. Sharon, as always, it's been a pleasure working with you.
Thank you, Neota, and thank you to all our viewers. If you have any questions or ideas that you would like to share with us, you can do so on our website or by responding to our social media posts. The addresses will pop up in just a moment in the end credits. Thank you for watching our show today. Until next time, it's goodbye. My name is Sharon Momanyi from Nairobi, Kenya.